Kaixo, Egunon, hola, buenos días. Hoy nos tomamos un café Lavazza con el equipo del cortometraje Single Light, un cortometraje que se estrena en la sección Zabaltegi-Tabakalera y que compite por el premio del mismo nombre. Hoy contamos aquí con nosotras, con su directora SHAYLEE ATARY y con su protagonista YAEL ELKANA. Hi, how are you? Really nice to have you here. We are going to start from the beginning. I would like you to tell us a little bit how you, came up with the idea of the short film and how you started the process of doing it.
Single Light, in Hebrew, or panas yachid, is based on a personal story that I've been through, not autobiography, but it's based on it. And I try to write about the experience of the day after sexual assault and about friendship in that specific moment for a lot of years. And all the time I put it away. I think the first time I understood that I want to do it is when I started to, I like to draw. Because before I wrote a script, I like to see if I see it. So I draw in colorful pencils. And then when I understood I see it, I understood that maybe a film is starting in me. I think I sent you the picture. I sent her the picture of one of the shots when we just started working, and then the shot was quite similar, a lot like.
Yes. And how did you meet, and how did you get involved in the project?
I don't know. Where did you meet me?
Well, maybe you can talk
because
about that.
SHAYLEE approached me at first, and as I said in the Q&A, I knew she was a singer. I knew her as a singer, but she sent me the script, and I didn't read it for some time, and then when I set to read it, I fell in love in it immediately. It was so powerful, and I knew that I'm going to do it, but I'm not sure where SHAYLEE knew me.
YAEL is she's a very good actress. When I saw her, this is what I felt immediately, and I remember you played in a tabach. How do you call the cook? Tabach is like the cook. The chef. Yes. The chef. So it's a Syrian in Israel, and I didn't know at the start if I'm supposed to act the main character, but I felt slowly that when I draw, I don't draw myself. I draw a different character, but I didn't know who she is. And then I remember sitting with my husband. He tells his story is that he tells that sentence. But I remember I said it. So I remember saying, or he said, honey, if I won't play the main character, this actress could play it, right? And he said, yeah, she's special. And then I approached her on Facebook, I think.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So the light, I think it's really important in this film because, it's even in the title. And we were talking in the Q&A too. I would like you to explain a little bit about how you created the atmosphere for the sexual assault and why the light is important here and that point of light when she's laid back.
Firstly, it's one of my most rememberable vision of that night, firstly. But moreover, I think that the light for me is like another character in the film. I felt like the light should always be behind the character. She should not be enlightened by the light because I feel that the trauma is behind her. She doesn't see it. She cannot acknowledge what she's been through, but it's always hunting her. And I felt like I want in only one moment for her face to be in front of the light, and it's the only moment when she acknowledges what she's been through, when she's the class and she understands, he sits next to her. So it's the only time when, and then also the camera starts to move. So, and also I felt that in the scene of the assault, because it's another character, she's also not alone. Because there, the light is another partner for her, like the look of God, or the look of something that is not physical, but it's near you and you're not alone.
And something that I think it's really interesting with films that explore sexual assaults is the way they portray victims, because sometimes we think victims have to, I don't know, act in some way, and we maybe judge things or not. So I would like you to...
What is a bit?
We judge and we...
Why you said beating?
Victims. Victims? Victims?
Victims?
Yeah, when you are victims, that's it. So I think it's interesting to have like different ways of being a victim or victim. So I would like you to explain a little bit why did you choose to portray it like that, and to show her day-to-day life and how she was dealing with everything.
I think Lali, the main character, she truly is not a girl that, like a lot of us feel, I think, is not willing to be a victim. And her day-to-day life before was a girl that nobody will approach her, and like that, in a way that she's a victim. And I think this is also why I casted YAEL, because I felt she has that strong center that I looked for, a person that it will have a hard time looking at the mirror and understand that I've been through that. I'm not weak, and so I think this is the reason also I chose YAEL. But
I think it's. And how did you prepare for the part? Because I think it's really deep. So
first of all, I had SHAYLEE, so it was very easy. When I read a script, I didn't know it's based on a true story. But when I knew that I had the biggest compass I could have. I'll tell you something. In the first scene, in the rape scene, we did the first take, and then SHAYLEE stopped, and she came to me, and in a very gentle way, she messed my hair, and she put little leaves in it. And I looked at her, and that's the moment I understood that all I need to do in this role is just to follow her, and she will show me the direction. And also, I have to say that I don't think you need to prepare for it very much. It's every woman's biggest fear. It's what we dream on in our nightmares. So if Lali experienced weakness or helplessness or lack of control, so I just imagined the last time that I felt it when I left the building and I watched to the sides to see if someone's there. So this and her, of course.
And how important you think is to share these kind of stories? And I would like you to tell me a little bit about the reception of the film, how it's been like when you have been showing it, and here in the festival too. How was the response of the public?
Okay, so remind me the first question.
How important you think is to share these kind of films?
I think it's very important, probably. I feel like there are so many stories of women and men that been through such an experience, but the discourse has changed. People are telling, and there was a Me Too and everything became, but the system did not. So in Israel still, I don't know how is it here, but in Israel 90% of the sexual assaults are closed in charges in the police. So I think it actually has a weight not only in cinema. So mostly in reality, I think the discourse has changed, but the system's not enough. But I also think that there are so many ways to tell this story, because every trauma of this kind is so, I think, specifically to each person is different. And when I met people with similar experiences, I felt like every soul experiences it very differently. So I guess the camera will show it also differently. And now the other question, remind me again.
How was the response?
Oh, the response. I was quite something that I liked about one the response that is coming back is that people are a lot talking about the friendship between the characters. So I felt, or the ending, for example, that she is not alone, and maybe she will get it through because she's not alone. I thought in those days, now in the festival, somebody asked me about the name and the light. They're talking with me a lot about the light in the matter of cinematographic, but then I looked at the letters, single light, and I truly understand that when people talk about the friendship, it's because the light is more than everything, more than just the light of the camera and physical light. It's the faith that a friendship or a beloved person can be to someone that his light has gone out. He cannot see the light right now. And I think that in the matter of that, this is what I like the response best, when people are talking about friendship.
And well, I know that now you are promoting the film and that you are focused on this maybe, but I would like you to explain a little bit which topics or which topics would you like to explore in your future projects, and I don't know if you are working on something that you could tell us about.
We finished shooting, me and my husband is also a filmmaker, Yav. And we finished shooting a feature we wrote together. It's about two artists that came to the kibbutz where I live in a village in the south of Israel, when they gave up on the art dreams and they a bit lost from life, and then find themselves through community and through something that has lost in our world of capitalism. And the other project that I'm working on, that I'm gonna to direct one day, I hope, when it's be ready, it's a story about a woman 2 days before a confrontation in the police. Because in Israel we have kind of a procedure that most of the victims will probably, if they put charges, everybody will be asked if you are willing to do a confrontation. If not, you have much less percent of like the charges will go on. And then you have to sit in front of your assaulter. There won't be even a table between us. It will be much closer than this, and you will need to tell all your story, and he will have to listen. Probably sometimes there will be a laughter or even, and then you will need to hear all of his stories, and then there will be a confrontation. I've been through such a thing after actually this film, because there was an attempt to silence it. So I'm so happy to be here, and because there was justice a bit, so I have my own voice that I can tell my story. But I think that in this specific situation of confrontation, you felt like there is no justice if that thing still happens to women and a lot of victims. This is the reason a lot of people don't put charges in Israel at all. So I am linking not on the character of his is not also like in our film is not in the film, but it's more than about the experience of the women 2 days before, about what happens when there is no justice and the only thing you have is faith and clinging on God, and maybe you will be in the room of the confrontation, because I don't think there is nothing else when the system is truly not that hugging for people that go through this.
Yeah,
Still.
couldn't agree more. So really willing to watch it in the future. Thank you very much for being here and presenting the film. It was a pleasure. Y ahora os vamos a dejar con un pequeño clip de la película. Eskerrik asko.
Nadia. בסדר. תקשיבי, הוא דפוק, זה לא תקין.
טוב, די, תן לי רגע.
תעמדי פה. סבבה.
אני מתאמנת על זה חודשיים, אני לא מתכוונת לפספס את זה.
נעלי. בסדר שנפגוש אותו שם.